Hello, everybody, and welcome to another session, webinar organized by Commerce. I hope that you can hear me well, so I would appreciate if you can type in the chat if you can hear me very well. Okay, I see it. Okay, so let me start also to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Vince Cirillo, and I'm leading global EDI and invoicing solutions here at Commerce, while I'm supporting many companies which are dealing, with the main challenges of supply chain, while also supporting them optimizing their business process through different type of solution. Today, the agenda of today, it's we are going to discuss and let's say together explore how supply chain leaders are currently dealing with the latest supply chain disruption that are occurring in the world. As we have seen last few years, has been increased number of frequency of disruptions. Together, we will see also how the leaders are responding, what type of strategies they are deciding to approach to their supply chain. And we will also have a look on the modern technologies that are driving digitalizations. One of their solutions are also cloud computing, that also include data exchange solutions. And we will check together electronic data interchange solution. And in the end of the webinar, we are going to also to have a QA session. Okay. So let's start the first part of the webinar. First of all, I would like also together with you to summarize the role and what is a supply chain and the role of supply chain management. So as we all know, a successful supply chain is very critical for many companies. Okay, especially in this modern world where customer and the consumer, they are expecting to receive the goods all the time, and now more rapidly than before. And as we all know, supply chain is defined as an entire process of producing and selling commercial goods, which also include different stages, we can see from the slide, from the supply of materials to the production of goods, till to the distribution and sale. And also a successful managing of supply chain, I would say that is very critical, okay? It's very critical stage for any company that wants to be competitive. As we know, also the modern supply chains are very complex, while spanning multiple countries, are also involving many stages. And an effective and an optimized supply chain is already very significant in the fulfillment of a company, for example, of a company customer orders, and if managed properly, of course, it can also bring significantly lower cost and also faster manufacturing cycle. Another important role is about the supply chain management, okay? That's also include the handling of product development, sourcing, manufacturing, procurement, so logistics, so all kind of, let's say, stages, facet, when it comes to supply chain operation. And without it, of course, company risk narrowing their customer and can lose their competitive advantage in their sector. So the supply chain management, it's not only an efficient process, but it's very critical in mitigation of the risk, okay? While ensuring that everything in your supply chain network runs smoothly. This is also because the supply chain consists of many elements, as we have seen before, from manufacturing sites, warehouses, transportation, inventory management, and order fulfillment. And each step in this process, of course, involves countless risks and the possibility of potential derailing of an entire customer order. So minimizing delays, optimize the time when the goods are moving during the whole supply chain network, or the duration of the inventory, and the process of shipping order are all elements that can have a very huge impact on daily operations. And without an optimized supply chain process, let's say the chain can fall apart from the very beginning, okay? So I would say that supply chain is no longer just an efficient producer or just moving the goods, but it's a must, I would say, now to be a driver of business growth for companies, okay? Also resilience is a very important and critical aspect. As a future supply chain now, as also we have seen, they are constantly handling with disruptions. So disruption, let's say, in the modern supply chain, it's a new reality, and it's always a risk because it's always around the corner. As also we have seen from the last in the recent years, the number of supply chain disruptions that companies are facing is constantly growing. Okay, we have seen, especially from the pandemic, so during the COVID time. But as you can see, also from the last years, there were also political friction or environmental degradation, and economic instability that we have learned, and also we have learned that many companies, doesn't matter from their sides, type of industry, or location, or financial status, but even technological maturity, many supply chains are not prepared to withstand or recover from the supply chain disruption that occur today. Okay, so organization simply lack the right visibility into their supply chains, just to be able to, let's say, to detect, anticipate, even identify any type of disruption. Okay. And I would also say that in addition, their IT infrastructure are not very powerful enough to enable them to respond to potential disruption quickly, of course. And this emerge also unscathed when they are faced with an unpredictable situation that can be a disruption. And the last two years were very intensely for all of us, and of course, first of all, but especially also for many supply chain, many companies, they had to manage to withstand the pressure and were forced also to shut down. So a lot of company, unfortunately, they closed it. And the other supply chain, let's say, are still surviving and try to get back on their feet while they're rebuilding their corporate immune system, so that the wounds can heal faster. What I would like also to discuss with you, I would like to check together and have a look at the major source of supply chain disruptions. So as we have seen, the COVID-19, so the pandemic, was I think was one of the most impactful recently disruption that we have that many companies also need to face. As we all know, lockdowns made it's very difficult to perform at the level required to maintain also business continuity, partly also because many organizations, they were not prepared to allow their employees to work remotely, and this was and still, let's say, multi-country disruptions, and let's say supply chains in general are lacking global resilience. But there are also other disruptions that can all the time occur. As I said, they are always behind the corner, like also natural disaster, like tornadoes, earthquake, floods, and that can also affect many companies, as well as the global and also local economy. And these events can, of course, they can cause companies to close their factories, breaking its supply chain network, and they can causing also a shortage of goods. Also, other occurring disruptions are the logistic delays. This is one of the most pressing supply chain issue I would add. And this one can be also, let's say, compounding to the other disruption, like together with pandemics or natural disaster. So delays, missing parcel, demanding cargo, all this can lead to significant financial losses and also overwhelming customer dissatisfaction, okay? Especially when intensified by other disruptions like geopolitical instability or military conflicts, as also we have seen by recent events with the consequence of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. As a result, also thousands of supply chain they have to close and it has been discontinued. Okay. Also product issue, I would say that is also one of the current disruptions. So goods are defective or sometimes are also faulty, and this can cause the supply chain to halt because the business may need to reorder a new shipment, or the manufacturer may have to reproduce the items once again. But anyhow, to prevent the disruption to also these product problems, companies also will need to establish a better quality control to ensure that the goods are made or are receiving according to their standards. But anyhow, let's say, I would say that the scale of the impact of a disruption was was very, very intensely last few years, that many companies, in order to regain their position and try to mitigate risk and protect their supply chains, a lot of leaders must develop, of course, new strategies, also based on optimization and supply chain monitoring. Okay, but now, after we have seen the this first part, which are the main disruption occurring in supply chain, I would like also to see together with you the main industry challenges and how leaders are responding to such disruptions. Okay, the risk that a company must be aware are mainly, I would say, mainly related to the production, labor, and the logistic. Okay, so therefore, supply chain management is primarily about achieving full transparency, resilience, and agility in these areas. This is especially difficult now, where most companies have dramatically expanding their supply chain in size and complexity, also to meet today's standards and users' needs and expectation of their customers. Okay, so organizations that run such chains are, let's say, are more exposed to a broader range of risk, including those over which they have near zero or they have completely no control. Okay, and as you can see also in this graphic, we can see the most prevalent factors and conditions that make businesses more vulnerable to supply chain disruption worldwide. We can see also here there are listed different industry, and those determinants, of course, can vary considerably by industries. And to become successful, to try to predict disruption and managing risk, companies need to redesign and improve their supply chain strategy, so that buyers and suppliers can build and operate within a much more reliable supply network. Okay. It's also, I would also add that also procurements must be naturally, in order to ensure cost efficiency and contribute to achieving the business targets. Also, what I would like to show you are the main key challenges today in the supply chain. Okay, it's also the modern supply chain, let's say, need to evolve in order to meet the high demands and challenge. And supply chain leaders should also plan in advance to keep everything running smoothly. A combination of customer expectation, industry complexity, and other factors can create a significant challenge in supply chain network. So let's see in this slide, there are the main key challenges that nowadays the leaders are dealing with. One of that, of course, is the high customer demand. So supply and demand are I would say that they are in prolonged imbalance, okay, and will continue to rock out also for the next year. That's for quite sure. As a supplier are also struggling to fulfill orders and meet clients' demand. Supply chain managers, need to remain nimble and expect shortage of critical materials. For sure, will continue, and the leaders also will need, let's say, to work more closely to their production and operation leaders also to prevent the bottlenecks that are caused by shortage, resulting also in production delays. So many businesses are struggling to have enough stock with a limited inventory. Generally, most companies still also rely on historical data, and either they own or their suppliers to estimate the future demand for products, solutions, and services. While making also supply chain decision is becoming more and more difficult nowadays. Okay. Also, another key challenge that leaders in supply chain are facing is, of course, the workforce and labor. So many supply chain industry are facing with such challenge, where also talent gaps across the supply chain and operation continue to create high dependency of also human workforce. Also because of the inflation, we are seeing also that pricing in supply costs are even increasing. And also the cost of the material is even increasing. So if also your organization, like many others, are facing with budget constraints, as you are trying to navigate also in this post-pandemic market, especially this post-pandemic market, I would say. So higher supply costs can make this process even more difficult. So now companies not only have to develop new supply chain networks to allow them to secure the raw materials that they need to produce the product, but they also must to make cost efficiency at top priority. As we have seen also before, the logistic delays, shipping delays, are also one of the challenge that supply chain are facing all the time. Digital transformation right now is also another key challenge for many leaders. As from the recent disruption in the industries, it's a fact. I would say that it's really a fact that supply chains need modernization. Okay, and the digital transformation have been already a discussed topic also before the pandemic time, but also with this increasing crisis, also the digitalization has been accelerated, moving faster in the supply chains. So now a larger number of organizations across many type of industries, they are investing in digital solutions, and they are planning also next years to involve new technologies in their supply chain network. Okay, and another one challenge, it's also legal and regulatory compliance. So organizations are also grappling with many standards, okay, laws and regulation to comply with. In many areas of the business, they need to ensure procuring, manufacturing products. Also another example of compliance that many companies are facing now is also the e-invoicing. That in many countries is becoming now mandatory, and many companies are also facing with many supply chain shortage that also are impacting several stage of their supply chain process simultaneously. So let's have now a look at the main key supply chain management trends that have been managing by top leaders this year, but also I believe that this supply chain management trends also are going to be for next year also a crucial demand, I would say. One of these, let's say, top key management trends is, of course, visibility. Okay, this I would say that's always been an important factor in supply chain, but in modern supply chain, ensuring visibility across all operations has become even crucial to collect or consolidate the data and insight in real time from across the supply chain. And with high visibility, companies need to get a complete view of the inventory, and they can even proactively react in terms of risk mitigation where needed. Also, another supply chain important trends is, of course, the resiliency. This is also one of the current in different industry, and one of the main goal is, of course, to make supply chain more resilient. This doesn't come as a surprise, of course, since as recent years have shown us that focusing on day-to-day operation without a proper planning for disruption is also a recipe for disaster. And the resilience, it's not a completely new concept for most company, okay? But ever since supply chain disruption have become more common and unpredictable over the last years, resilience has become, of course, more than simply managing risk as they come. And would rather a way to build a strong competitive advantage for many organizations. So many companies and leaders, they have to be sure and to be prepared for multiple scenarios by testing how their organization will be able to respond to them and verify where improvements need to be made in the process. Okay, one of the main part, of course, is the increasing of the inventory of crucial materials and products. This is also well increasing. Also, they would need to increase the collaboration and information with their business partners. All of this, let's say, aspect contribute to a more resilient supply chain. Also, another key supply chain management trends for many leaders are it's of course sustainability and environmental, social, and governance. As we know, this kind of initiative are also now including in many companies' priority already for this year, but also for the next year. And of course, one of the main supply chain management trends is technology. As we know, also many countries, many industries with the Industry 4.0, let's say this is expected to ramp up in the next few years. So with technology, like machine learning or artificial intelligence, but also other technologies that are becoming a priority in supply chain. So many leaders are going to add in their agenda and to focus more on digitalization of their supply chain process and factory. But another another important topic that also I would like to explore with you, it's the focus areas. Currently, the supply chain leaders are focusing in different areas while including in their supply chain process, the supply chain different digitalization, different digital tools. Okay, especially they are adding in their agenda the possibility to include digital tools, especially for implement their forecasting, demand planning, as well to supply planning. Also, supply chain leaders are working and to implement their inventory process also through some digital tools, and they have a better supply chain visibility and agility. And also they are looking for digital tools for an end-to-end planning. So now what I would like also to explore, let's have a look at the modern technologies that are driving now digitalization in supply chain, and which technology are really becoming priority in many industries. Okay. So as you can see also from this slide, companies today can use different type of technologies to avoid, to anticipate, and also to overcome supply chain disruptions. Different supply chain, of course, they can have different requirements depending of their kind of industry or current level of digitalization. Or other important factors. And technologies like data-driven and cloud-based, I would say that they are considering the most effective. Also because such solutions allows businesses to react to all kinds of market change simultaneously, okay? And scale their supply chain operation up and down whenever they want to meet their needs and goal. But there are also other latest technology. As example is artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, also big data analytics is also becoming a priority in supply chain, or also robotics. It's also another main priority right now in supply chain. And also knowing how quickly the business environment is changing these days, more and more companies are becoming aware that they need to use the right digital tools, of course, to remain competitive. And with the digital tools that also include the artificial intelligence, this, of course, will play an important role to helping company to keep their market positions, especially since they are now becoming major drivers also of digital automation across the globe. And artificial intelligence, of course, will help companies to have a better understanding and command of their inventory in complex real-time control or in forecast future scenario, and recommend the most viable action and strategies. So companies and top level management, they require digital tools right now. And I would also suggest, when you are going to select such platforms for your company, this solution must be fully aligned with your strategies and goal, and their functional scope need to let's say to align at high levels and especially perform at highest level on all supply chain supply chain stage. Also, what I would like also to discuss is the main key goals for enterprises. So as you can see also in this slide, many these are the key goals that many enterprises will need to achieve also for next year. So they will need to create a central information hub and making a company data more accessible, okay, while improving their journey to becoming a more process-centric organization with a centralized environment where they can monitoring the whole information of their companies, and also increasing the level of controls of their business process, and also enabling enterprise to trace problems in their business process management is also another key goal for the leaders in supply chains. And of course, one of the main goals is reducing the cost. So as we know, the cost effectiveness is also a main component of supply chain management. And reducing expenses across supply chain operations, which also include the goal of a paperless office, and also reducing the cost of human error and the manual work is also become an important challenge for the leaders. And also one of the key challenge and of the key goals is to optimizing different supply chain process in their companies, as also we have seen as discussed previously. And of course, also one of the key goals that many leaders they have in their agenda is improving the relationship with their business partner. Building a relationship in business, of course, can reap many benefits, such as gaining new customers, keeping current customer, or establishing a good reputation. And to achieve all these goals, one of the digital solutions that many companies are also design let's say to implement in their companies are data exchange solutions. Okay, so I would also say that the digitalization is also discussed is completely redesigning and improving many business communication channels and exchange process also between trading partners across the entire supply chain, and in order to make also easier for companies to build a better and easily collaboration with their supply chain network system, while also allowing companies to protect their asset when a distribution occurs. And this also can help company to become more agile. And of course, also one of the main process it's in procurement is starting with elimination of the use of paper and manual handling of orders, delivery notes, invoices, but also other type of documents, and achieve their goals of many enterprises, as also we have seen in the previous slide. This is possible through digital tools for data exchange and document management, while combining also the right IT tools and the information you put in them. Of course, this will help streamline various procedures and introduce a more powerful ways to control the activities within your supply chain. Additionally, of course, also reporting and the data analysis tools will also guide you through let's say to a better business opportunities, and can show you the better direction in the most profitable for your companies. But now let's have a look on the main, let's say, advantage of a digital supply chain. So why companies are deciding to digitalize their process, and which are the main advantage that they are receiving from digital applications and tools. So of course, Going digital can certainly bring many advantage. Here we can see different key advantage that many leaders can count on digital supply chain. The digitalization of supply chain process, of course, allows you to remove major supply chain bottlenecks by also giving you a complete overview of all your activities and inventory levels. With the proper monitoring and data exchange tools, you can easily be sure that your business will never be out of stock. And also by running your operational with digital tools, you can even create and working environment in which your order and delivery times can drastically minimize. And this, of course, also will bring more automated tasks, in resulting in more time also for your employees, while they can also focus on other important companies task. And your company can also benefit significantly from a digital supply chain, as it helps optimize decision-making processes, and also will reduce operational cost by allowing you also to adopt the just-in-time methodology. Okay, so many supply chain now are designed also to launch a just-in-time methodology as an inventory management that also will let you decrease the waste, as you will receive goods from supplier only when they are needed during the production. And the digitalization of supply chains will also allow you, of course, to collect, share, and analyze business data efficiently by gaining, of course, a better and complete visibility into your global operation. So you can not only monitoring your progress in real time, but can also create let's say, a business roadmap and make important decisions also based on actual, let's say, data. Okay, so now as we have seen the main advantage of a digital supply chain, and also the data exchange solution that is also becoming a data-driven in the digitalization of many processes in supply chain, I would like now to discuss with you one of the main data exchange solutions that also would be very will help, let's say, many companies to achieve the main goals that also we have discussed before. So let me share the next slide. And before we will discuss about electronic data interchange, I would also like to mention that here at Commerce, we have also many experience in data exchange and document management with core solution like electronic data interchange and also invoicing. That's also currently is one of the most hottest topic in many countries worldwide. And here we are well aware of the challenge that today companies are facing in supply chain. So our goal is, of course, first of all, to provide our clients a high-end IT solution, which will allow them to optimize and streamline their supply chain process and support companies in every way through their digitalization journey. And through EDI, that first of all, let's check what is an EDI. So EDI, mainly referring EDI, but it's electronic data interchange. It's a cost-saving business process automation that is used between trading partners to send and receive validated electronic documents from computer system to another computer system in standard formats without human intervention. ADI documents include, for example, purchase order, invoices, payment documents, bills of lading, inventory documents, and any other type of document. And as we also discussed in the previous in the previous part about the key goals and challenge. Here you can also briefly see when you should think about an EDI solution. Okay, EDI is one of the solutions which can support many organizations to overcome the main key challenges that they are facing nowadays in supply chain. Also, while supporting them on their let's say on their achievements and goals. And the solution, electronic process chain, here you can see in this slide a community model. Okay, a community model is a B2B platform that also enables safe, quick, and reliable data and document exchange that is covering a wide range of documents, as I said, like orders, invoice, and many other type of documents. The EDI will enable your organization to connect in real time with your local or global partners through different multiple channels that might be, for example, web application, APIs, emails, and any other type of channels. And EDI enables you to improve your communication across your supply chain network and also in a result in a competitive advantage. And also what I would like also to mention that the great thing that your partner don't need to implement it and make it a part of their IT infrastructure. As also there are also web ADI solutions where they can easily send, receive business informations in real time without any type of integrations. Also, one of the many peculiarities of EDI is the EDI standards. Okay, so there are some standards that also address the needs of specific industry or region. And when sending an EDI document, both parties, so seller and buyer, or also other trading partners like logistic service provider, need to follow the same set of rules. So let's say the standards are defining where and how the information in the document will be received. So there are also different transaction, and an EDI message generally include a string of data elements, data segments. The transaction message just consists on usually on information that also is containing in a typical let's say business document. And also thanks to the dynamic EDI messages, but also notification that EDI solutions are offering, also while automatically generate inventory or sales data reports, as well as purchase orders, proposal, and confirmation. EDI will also help you to prevent global supply chain disruption from that are affecting your company operation, and lets you focus on your important, let's say, business. Let me also show you some example of EDI data flow that it will be possible to use in EDI. So EDI solutions is used currently in many industry, and also include general business, e-commerce, operation management, to streamline and automate workflows. So also to have a better and uniform processing system that also will enabling efficiency, enabling the cost, speed, and accuracy of your data. EDI is also used in operation management, including logistics, supply chain, procurement, and manufacturing productions. So here you can see an example of data flow, of EDI data flow that is using in manufacturing industries, also including purchase orders that are transmitted also directly and automatically between trading partners, also without humans. And also EDI solution provide the status message of the all type of messages and transactions that are exchanging between your company and your business partners. Another also example that also we can see is the data EDI data flow in retail industry, as you can see from this from the next slide. So through EDI, it's possible, also depending on the other on type of your industry and the type of documents transaction that you exchange with your business partners, possibility to set up also even more messages and to optimize the whole communication flow with your business partners. In this slide, you can see here you can see how EDI can also help your business and which advantage can bring to your organization. Well, I would also say that beside the challenges and key goals that we have discussed before, an EDI solution, generally these data exchange technologies are now very instrumental to running a business, okay? So no matter type of industry, product, or location. Without technology, by the way, it's impossible to dealing with the current supply chain challenge and goals, but also to predict, prevent, or even to survive to supply chain disruption, which as we all know that the last years and also in the next year probably are constantly growing. And in order to remain competitive, companies must develop a fully dynamic, transparent, and highly efficient supply chain. And of course, this can be done also with integration and the use of data exchange and document management platform like EDI solutions. Also, what I would like to add here, that solution can be very powerful to allow companies to monitoring their supply chain flows in real time, and also they can have a better result while they can have a full control on their daily operations. As also such solutions are also powered with the latest artificial intelligence, machine learning technology, and cloud-based and data-driven platform. I would say that they are definitely the best option to go with. So currently, now maybe let's move to the Q&A sessions. So let me check if there are some questions in the chat. Whoa, I have seen there are a lot of questions right now. So maybe let me just select a few of them, and maybe all the rest we can also send you after the meeting webinar. Okay, so give me just a second. Let me select just few questions. Okay, I see some interesting question. Okay, maybe let's choose this one. Okay, someone asked about what I need any special qualification or experiences to be able to carry out an EDI solution. In general, there is no need for specific qualification or experience, but it directly depends also on which kind of EDI solution you will decide to, let's say, to approach and include in your organization. Currently, there are most of the EDI solutions are also web-based platform that are hosted by a service provider, also like our EDI solution here in Comarch, and it can be easily accessed with any kind of web browsers, and also wherever you will decide to deploy an EDI platform in your company. Anyhow, you can I would also highly recommend to ask your provider also to provide guidelines and also trainings for your employee, of course, during the implementation phase of the EDI solutions. Let me also see another question. Okay. Okay, someone else also asked about how difficult is to roll out an EDI solution in my company. Okay, well, this is also depends generally on EDI solution that can be implemented actually in a short period of time, of course, depending on your type of EDI solution that you will choose, but also depending on the scope of your project. For example, if you will decide or select a web-based solutions, the company's user can access through a web applications and just need to fill out maybe some necessary online forms before submitting the agreed upon documents. While more complex projects also will require installations and full integrations on corporate network and also on their system. It can, of course, this can be a bit more longer, but in generally an EDI implementation, I would say that also to implement in full integrations generally takes I would say up to 3 to 6 months. Is always depending, as I said, on the scope of the project. Maybe let me also select another. We have still a few minutes, so maybe I will have still time for another question. Okay, another attendants also ask how an EDI solution can be powerful for my supply chain, and where should I start? First of all, we should consider that digitalizing the supply chain, it's never a destination, but a journey, okay? So don't be afraid to fail and also make a mistake because supply chain digitalization is an iterative process, okay? So a digital platform, also like EDI platform, may help you to bring your data and process together, also in order to provide you a centralized and real-time view of your supply chain, by also allowing you to collect, to track, and monitoring your key supply chain data, where also you can, of course, drastically reduce the cost, maintain your compliance, you can reduce the risk, but also I would also say that you can even accelerate the time to market, and also that can help you to eliminate the problems and also achieve a better transparency across your supply chain network. EDI solution can easily be integrated also with other kind of applications, and your company also while providing a reliable and holistic view of all your operations can also help you to transform your business process, okay? And also how you can start. First of all, in order to start with an EDI project, first of all, you need to consult with an EDI provider that also will support you in the best solutions for your company, and will of course will also plan together with you the onboarding of your list of your business partners, so you can prepare a list of business partners that would need to onboard to the project, and you can then you can start to exchange business documents with your selected business partners, sending, of course, and also receiving electronic documents. Okay, so I have seen a lot of other questions right now in the chat. So let's do in that way. we will send you, I will also answer to the other questions after the webinar, and we'll send you all the answer after that, okay? So for now, let's say we are at the end of our sessions. So that's all for today. Of course, if you will have any future question, or just you would like to learn more about data exchange solutions, just don't hesitate to contact me to my email address that you can see in the slide, or just you can just fill out a contact form on our website. So from my side, thank you very much for attending the webinar today, and please stay tuned for the next event.